gon' miss. Pull up to your mama house, she talking about a diss. 30 rounds out that Glock, we caught him by the fence. You know them Harlem's kids, don't come at me by no bitch. It was me and Bumpy for 10 on this little lick. Then we double back and key for half a brick. Don't posted on the 3, like I know this nigga bitch. I dare these niggas spit, Lord forgive me for my sins. Putting all these niggas off, forgot the way they been. Pulling up my shovel grade, digging all his friends. Slap me as a bitch, don't give a fuck about if we can. Got my money up, like catch me sliding out of bed.
What I've like decided first of all is the fact that like instead of like strictly going for the leetcode 150, I would be following this video so that like I can get to I could cover all the concepts faster, and then I would like also do deep dives on particular topics, so that because that would like basically just help me with motivation. Last time, because this like been 2 or 3 times where I've like started leetcode but only like do it like to like let's say up to linked list. That's like so the biggest problem is that like I don't leave any questions in any of these sections, and I feel like that's like causing like a mental block where I cannot like pass a particular section until I just do every single question, which I think is not healthy. And I think I could probably solve all of like from these 70 leetcode problems. I'm assuming that like I'm going to be solving most of these, at least to like 1 to 2 to 3 questions, not all of them. And then depending on the day, I would just revise some of the topics while also solving some of the new questions that I did not do in the past. I think that's like a better course than like going through like every single event from start to the end. So I did do some questions this morning actually. I need to see where did I do it up to. So we are 44 strong on this. The ones I did today morning was like the missing number one was the last one, right? So the next one is
and too far deep into lambdas, because in my opinion
I needed to make a note about lambdas for sure. I think I would like start up a note and I did a first one. I'll just like do yeah. So yeah, one thing I heard about was the lambda function in this, and I also wanted to look up what else did we talk about here? Different sorting techniques and stuff like that.
you can do the same things using plain code like loops, and lambdas are slightly less readable, but this did make me more comfortable with the language, and the next time I saw lambdas I could rewrite the solution to my style. Anyway, on to the next array question. Find all missing numbers. In this problem we have to check.
Fine, also I'll just like try the question first before like looking at whatever he has to say, and then if I can then I'll look at whatever he has to say. So the question is find all numbers disappeared in an array 448. So basically I assume it's gonna be like a sort, like a list from like 0 to n, and there would be numbers that are not in it. Then an array nums of n integers where number size is in the range 1 of n. Return an array of all the integers in the range that do not appear in nums. That's pretty easy to do, I think. I just did like a question similar to this, like just finding out the missing number. So yes, first of all I'll just create like a set because we will be doing a lot of lookups. So I'll just like set out the nums list. It's always already going to be like all no duplicates, right? I'm pretty sure it's going to be like no duplicates anyways, so I just need to find out all the numbers that are not in it. So for I in range 1 comma len of nums plus 1. So for each particular element for I in range, so actually we are not like using I as a pointer here. So what we'll be doing is we are using it as an element, because it's always going to last from 1 to the last number of the length n. So let's say for this particular nums Okay, so yeah, for this particular num, let's say we have two sides of the array is 2, right? So given an array in terms of n integers, 2 integers, so it should have had like 1 and 2 both. Wait a minute, this does has duplicates though. It does not matter. We don't really care about duplicates here. So there is that, and but okay, if there are duplicates is one thing. So uh, here the list is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So wait a minute, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 8 elements, but there are some repeated as well. So the missing ones are these. So if I set it out, it should go to like 6. So that's why I cannot like start it with like length of set A. So I need to start with length of num. For I means that if I in set A continue, actually yeah, and I'll make up a result result list. So else if I is not in that particular step, then just res dot append I, and this should work. So just return res. I mean, I don't think there's any problem in that. Yeah, there probably is though now. So these are done, but like this feels like too easy. It's gonna be like that easy. I mean, it is an easy question, but still. Oh, it got accepted. There's no way. Beats 84, beats 8%. Let's see how we coded it up. Let's pause the music, bro. I think when I'm like talking about my question, I need like to actually like put something on in the background because. So let's say binaural beats. Why not? Not sleep. Let's say experiment. Yeah, that's good enough. So what I'll do is yeah, let's see how we
The
code it
given
up.
list for missing numbers in the range 1 to length of numbers. So this is a nice little reminder for myself because I've seen this question before. But if you've not seen this question, let's read the official description. Given an array nums of n integers where nums I is in the range 1 to n. So essentially we're given a list of numbers from 1 to n. Return an array of all the integers in the range 1 to n that do not appear in nums. So we have a list of nums here, and I can see we have some numbers repeated like 3 and 2, and we need to return the numbers that are missing from the range of 1 to n, where n is the number of items in our list or the length of the list. And we return 5 and 6 because they're the ones that are missing. And this looks to be true in the second example also. So whenever we're looking at duplicates, my mind immediately goes to if we can use sets. So let's go over to our whiteboard and have a look at the solution. This is the nums that was passed in the first example, and here I've written out our solution. The first thing we want to do is take a set of our numbers. So this means we're going to have the same list as a set where all the duplicates are removed. And it's not relevant here, but I'm going to create a list. So the first value is type in excludes that number. But from 1, keep looping. It is also in linear time. Again, if our input doubled, then the length of the set might double depending on the list. If we had more numbers missing, we'll also grow in linear fashion. I've also included a solution which had all of one space. Right now, I don't think it will be beneficial to go through it, but if you're looking to improve your Python skill, missing numbers question. Next up, we have two, one of the most popular questions on LeetCode. Given an array of integers.
Do some, bro. I've like done this question like 5 times in the last week because of me restarting this, and let's see how many times I've done do some exactly. Like let's first the last week like entire submissions. So I've done it like thrice. Okay, so this was in one sitting, right? I've done that shit thrice in the last week. I'll just actually hide it before. How the fuck do you say? Yeah. And I did those in Python. Before that I did that in Java. Before that I did in Python. 2 times 2, like 2022. Oh, like in 2022 it just did not work for me. 2023 I got it to work. It's been 14 submissions. Let's just do like one quick one again. Why not? It's pretty easy to do this question. Yeah, we need to create a set. I'm pretty sure in this question. Set A equals to set A. Alright. Set A equals to set, and what we needed to do here is, so we basically have an array and I have a target. We need to check if array contains a particular element that array contains like a group of 2 elements that when added up will go to target. So I'll just iterate it through nums. So for n in nums. But I mean, isn't this the map question? Yeah, I don't think it's the set question. I'm just like actually dumb. Map A equals map for n in nums. If n in map A continue. Basic thus handles duplicates, else map a dot add. No, I don't think it's add. It's I think map a of this should be equals to whatever the value is, right? So map a. So the key here actually. I suppose I need to find like what was the number, target and the number that we needed. So let's say temp equals to target minus num. So basically this makes sure like, so whatever we add into so this will basically make sure whatever temp is when added into n would result as target, right? Because we basically want to do this for each integral element. Temp plus n equals to target, and I need to check if temp in map a actually, if temp in map a return what did we need to return? I think it's in any order, so temp comma n. But if map temp not in map a, then we need to map n as temp. Why do we even need a map here? We could literally just do this with a set, no? We don't really need temp here. Like if we just put all of this in a set, why am I even using a map here? Like couldn't this just be like, well, let me think about it actually. I'm talking too much. I'm not doing this like how I usually would, so yeah, we don't need to use a fucking map. I'm just retarded. Why did I do this with a map before? I'm actually not sure. Temp equals to, yep, temp and set a return temp command, else map it and equals to, no, just like set a dot add n. I think that's how you add into a set for everything. That would return whenever we have the solution. I'll just like run it up. I'm not sure if this works. Wow, output is 2 and 7. Oh, I need to give the index, right? Oh, then I might need to store the index, right? Yeah, we are storing the index. Oh yeah, that's why we were using maps, to store the index. Yeah, for each individual element we would store the index in this map. Oh yeah, that was the case. Oh my bad. Now I remember why we used map, because we are not returning the values. I just saw this like 4 days ago and I don't even know the question. And whatever, now I know, right? So for n in num, temp equals to target minus n. If temp in map a, return temp map a. So return would be changing, and instead of this we would have map a of n equals to, and I think we'll just do this like, okay, for I in range 0, len of nums. Do that. Do we? Yeah, we'll do that one. And map a of n equals to. I used enumerate last time because I was doing that, but so map a of not n, map a of nums of I equals to I, target minus nums of I, return. You will be returning not temp actually. We would just be returning map of a temp, comma I, right? I think so. So that we return the indexes instead of the thing we were doing. Prime range 0, len of nums. Why is len of nums? Oh my god, was I using the wrong thing for the range, brother? No way, man. There's no way. I think this is like the perfect answer actually. I don't think there's anything better here. 600%, 13%. What were my submissions like? So 0 ms, 8.5, 8.5. Okay, that the last one. Similar. What was the wrong answer actually? Wow, why was I using? What is that? Why was I using all that? I'm not sure. Here I actually used enumerate. I don't enumerate anymore, but like yeah, it's just easier to do that. But like yeah, I will not use that in a coding interview because I will not to show them that I also know that. Whatever. So now I've done this.
Integers, nums, and an integer target. Return indices. You can return we need to return. We would and send out a nested loop. It's simple. One to our which gives us.
I don't really care about all that.
Index, which is 0. Eventually, we will reach 7 and find our target value 2 in our hash map, which is the solution, experience, and being able to say that I kind of understand another language and how it works. And you can tell which solution I wrote was in Python and which one was in Java. Typically, Java runs faster than Python because it is a compiled language versus Python, which is interpreted. And if you're not sure what that is, go ahead.
Oh yeah, Java solutions are like 2 ms for me. The fuck, my Python solutions are 0 ms, bro. Like that's abnormal. Goofy, bro. Like what the fuck is all that? Oh, what is that? Like one, oh yeah, Python might just be like. Well, my first one was pretty bad here too. I think these are like all brute forces. Yeah, I was using sets probably. Whoa, why is this like Python solutions that very bad? Whoa, why is Python solutions that bad? It runs just fine for me. We have Java mem solutions sure do use more memory though. That's for sure.
And look it up. Or you can check out the material provided on Software Engineering Concepts, which has everything you need to know covered inside. Over here on the right, we can see the difference in Java and Python for a different problem, which is called final value after operations. Now, I'm not going to go into this problem too deeply because the focus of this is the difference in the languages. Essentially, all we have to do is return the value after a string list of additions and subtractions. So
Java final value after operations, right? Return the value. Is this a question? Final value after operations? I'll just do this to it. Of a variable after performance this is yeah, there is a programming language with only 4 operations and 1 variable x plus plus x and x plus plus increments the value of variable x by 1. Given an array of string operations containing a list of operations, return the final value of x after performing all the operations. What is x at the start? Initialize x is 0. Equals to 0. Operations are that or that. Only minus x, minus x or plus x, right? Sure, I think this shouldn't be easy. I think we don't even need a loop here, right? No, we need a loop here, brother. Dumbass boy. Like, so for operation in operations, if OPR equals to x plus plus x plus plus or plus plus x plus plus x x plus equals to 1, every single time just do an x minus equals to 1, right? I share. Then we just return x at the end. I'm pretty sure, right? I'm not sure actually. My god, I'm just like dumb, bro. Like it's not even. What? Does not. Oh. What? Why does it not work? Average 3 expected was 1. What? At the start is 0. -1, +1, +1. What? It should be oh yeah, it should be right, minus. If OPR double equals to x plus 1, x plus plus or minus x, or plus plus x, x plus equals to 1, x minus equals to 1. Oh wait a minute, I am just dumb. I need to. No, why? That's not dumb, brother. In particular, let's just should not be done. X plus plus or plus plus x. Here I think anything else, so it's not this, so x should go minus. X plus plus equals to x plus equals to 1. Is it going twice because I have a or here? There's no way it would be 4 then. Am I dumb? Why is it showing 3, man? I'm not sure. So plus is working fine, I think. Minus is not, so plus plus minus minus. Why is it just plusing every single time? If OBR double equals to x plus plus or plus plus x, but why is it like always just doing that? Plus actually, I think I have another thing. It's plus in OPR. This should just work, right? If there is a plus in OPR, just plus it. Why was it not working? Why was it not working, bro? I want to know why was it not working. Actually, I just copy paste the code before and do it later on. First I'll just submit this. Okay, so he might be trying to teach me something about Python, right? So and that, because whatever like the increment operation is, there is a plus that's gonna be in there. So why was it not working? I wanna know that. Why does x plus plus not work? Because of how let's break it down. OPR equals to x plus checks if OPR is equal to x plus plus. X plus x is valid as a standard string, which is always true in a boolean. X plus x is evaluated as a standalone string. What the fuck does that even mean? It's always true in a boolean context because non-empty strings are truthfully. What the fuck, brother? Like, I don't understand that. Are true, bro. Why is it true though? Like, it should not be true, no? If OPR equals to this, or okay, or OPR equals to that, oh my god, I'm just dumb. Okay, so it wasn't like that. Like, Python is different. I was just dumb, type shit, right? So it's submitted, right? Whatever. Let's see if it's. I've been doing so many easy questions. I don't like that. Like, I have done more easy questions than mediums. I guess everybody has a base, right? So was he talking about this particular question anyways? Plus plus x and minus plus plus? Oh yeah.
We start off with 0, and for each minus or plus in a string that we're given, we either add or minus 1 to x or 0. So it's a fairly simple problem, and you can see 90% of people passed it. Over here on the right, you can see why I recommend Python over Java, because the same problem is so much more convoluted. We have to set the types of our input and our variables as an integer or a number, and a string list, which is the plus and minuses. And it also goes a lot more into creating a loop. We have to say the number we start at, and the conditions for breaking out of our loop, and what happens at the end of each loop. So just something to be aware of in terms of
what you could do in Java was like, instead of like putting, so instead of checking like the first or the last element of the string, can't you just check like the middle operation of the string? If operations of I dot char at 1. Yeah, so he's doing that exactly, right? So it's kind of similar, bro. There's a lot of boilerplate, but the logic is kind of similar. I'm getting the code, bro. Like, Oh my god, I might need to end this shit early today, man. I was even feeling it. Let me see how long has this shit been, bro. The fuck, man? Like, it's always happening like when I'm in a fucking element. I only did like 3 easy questions, bro. What the fuck is that? Bro, I'm not popular enough for that. What the fuck is that? How long has the stream been, bro? Man, like, it's always happening like when I'm in a fucking element. I only did like 3 easy questions, bro. It's 26 minutes. Can I postpone it by an hour? I think I can just work right now. Yeah, that's fine. So,
between languages, and something that you can refer to if you're ever asked about Java and Python or typed languages and interpreted and compiled languages. So take a look.
what? It's not like that different. He's just doing it like instead of like a random a dash in I. He's just checking for particular position in I, right? String, because you can't just do this in I. Whatever it is. But that's why Python is so easy, bro. Like that's why I also switched back to Python because I feel like I'm
these and maybe make a table and add the differences to your notes. Next up, we have how many numbers are
this code runs, but I'm pretty sure there could be a better answer than that.
Smaller than the current number. And the question tells us, given the array nums, for each nums I, find out how many numbers in the array are smaller than it. That is, for each nums I, you have to count the number of valid j's such that j does not equal I and nums j is less than nums I. Return the numbers in an array. So this description is quite confusing, and it's typically only when I read the examples that I understand what the question is telling me. So example 1, 8, 1, 2, 2, 3, and we return 4, 0, 1, 1, 3. So I can see now that 8 is bigger than 4 numbers in our array, so we return 4 for that index. 1 is not bigger than any other number, so we return 0. 2 is only bigger than one other number. The second 2 is also only bigger than one other number. And 3 is bigger than 3 other numbers. Immediately, you should recognize that similar to the question 2 sum, we could do a nested loop solution, checking for each number all the other numbers and seeing if it's bigger or smaller than it. However, this solution would be quite slow, giving us O of n squared. Instead, a better solution I found is to start by sorting the list, which is n of log n, and this allows us to avoid the nested loops. So let's take the first example and go over to our whiteboard. First up, we would create a temporary variable, which is our nums array.
He creates a sorted list, and then he creates an empty dictionary. For I, num, and you enumerate temp. For I, num, if num not in D, u of num equals to I. Why are we using an if? Because we are already enumerating now. Or I, num in enumerate temp. Why are we enumerating that? Well, I don't understand this code at all.
But sorted. So we would have 1, 2, 2, 3, and 8. We then create an empty dictionary, and then we would loop through the enumerated sorted list that we called temp. And the reason I was able to come up with this solution is because I had just completed 2 sum, and while drawing out the solution, I began to see the same patterns in this question. So at this point, we check if the number is not in our dictionary, then we can add that value to the dictionary. And before carrying on with the rest,
if number is not in our dictionary, we add that value in our dictionary.
The solution, let's go ahead and give this a go. So initially,
but I think that's gonna give like a wrong answer now, because it's gonna update twice for duplicate values and will give a wrong answer.
we will have an I or an index of 0 and number 1. Our dictionary is empty, so we can just add the 2 values to anything. And we have the value key, add this key pair value, and add the value 0 to the return list.
0, 2, 1, 3, 3, 8. But how does he know 3 is to 3 though? But this is going to be like a 2 is to 2 as well. How does this enumerate function work? I need to look at it. Index 0 key A. S1 GB restore key C. So it does not matter what the value is, it just enumerates based on whatever the value we give it. Oh, that's weird. Okay. Alright, so it basically counts the particular iteration based on what though, like, where does it store that though? Only in enumerate 11 print A. So count comma LE in enumerate 11 comma 100. Is that even a 1? Should understand it. Okay, let me like.
Next up, we have 2, and we check our dictionary, and we find it has a value of 1, so we add that to our return list. And here,
So basically, what I can see is that like for each particular element. So why am I using this like weird ass like thing, this entire thing? Couldn't I just have done that normally as well? Why did I not do it normally? So, but let's say if I can do this normally. for n in range, whatever the length of the string is. Okay, so what he did was, instead of like doing this and that, right? So like if then he only added this, because then if it is already in there, yeah, if it already is in there, man, that was so simple. Why was I making it that hard? Should it work? Wow. An hashable type list. Is list unhashable though? That's crazy. Okay, now it works, because so what I was doing was I did not have this statement, I just had that. So what was happening when it was in this? So this was 38.83 and 11.26, right? How much would this be like? Wow, 73 and 11. Wow, that's pretty better, yeah. So I was trying to like, instead of thinking about how I could do that, I thought about like a complex set solution. But there is a problem there. There is a problem there. I need to work on that. I think we'll do one more question and then...
It is where the magic of the solution comes in, because we have the duplicate value 2, which we're checking next. In our dictionary, 2 has the value 1, so we add 1 to our return list. This 2 is also only bigger than one other number, which is the 1. And we managed to keep our solution intact by checking if the number was not already in the dictionary at that point. And if you remember, we skipped adding the second 2 to our dictionary.
147, right? Could I like push up to 50?
Or updating its value. This way, the values of each number in our dictionary represents the previous numbers it's bigger than, avoiding any duplication issues. And finally, we have the number 3, which gives us a value of 3 also. So we would return this solution here, which is the correct answer. In my notes, I added a reminder to myself that time complexity is more important than space, because when I completed a mock interview with an engineer who was already in a big tech company, he told me that space is cheap, and so we focus on time complexity, and that became an important reminder for me. Finally, I also added an O(n) time complexity solution, so this would be an improvement on my solution. However, I found this answer quite convoluted, and I thought to myself it would be pretty difficult to come up with this on the first try, and as an interviewer, you would be pretty impressed, and if not a bit skeptical, if someone could come up with this answer on the spot. However, it was good.
Count equals to... Whoa, whatever is that, bro? So why do you not mention it in like a fucking big ass position, bro? Is this PPT available? Bro, these two could do anything for some Patreon money, bro. Can't even look at that, I understand something. Count equals to whatever he is multiplying it by. What is he multiplying it by? Sure. For num and num, count num1 equals to... Oh! Count of num1. Wow, that's smart. For I in range 1, whatever that is. Count 1 plus count. Well, I don't understand whether it's written here, bro. Whatever, not be asked. But whatever. I mean, this does not seem too convoluted to me. Like, of course, it's worse than the original one, but...
It's good practice to go through the solution and see how it works. So I'm not going to go through the solution, but feel free to...
just showed it. So count equals to 0 into 1 or 2. Why 1 or 2? For num and nums, count num plus 1 plus equals to 1. So I in range 1, 1 or 2, count 1 plus equals to count 1 plus 1. Okay, that I'm not even thinking about that.
Give it a go yourself. Next up, we have minimum time visiting all points, and I really like...
Oh, all of these questions are easy and I don't like that. minimum time waiting over the last one. Leetcode 1266. Wow. On a 2D blender, endpoints with integer coordinates, points are x, y, comma, y. The minimum 9 seconds with all the points with the original points. Okay. Endpoints. I equals to x, y, return the minimum time in seconds. In 1 second, you can either move vertically by manually or move diagonally square root of 2 units. In other words, move 1 unit vertically, then 1 in 1 second. Okay. One, 3, 4, minus 1, 0. Okay, so basically we need to check for each particular subarray. We need to check for if this is bigger than that and this is also bigger than that. And do a move, right? And after that we need to also maintain a count. So we go there, and then there is a minus 1, 0, right? So this is this, this is this. No, we are starting at 1, 1, so both are more, 2, 2, both are still more, 1 is more, we go up, both are less, both are less, both are less, both are less. Yeah, that's pretty easy actually. I just need to do like 3 if else statements. So for point in points, for each particular points, no, we don't need to do for each particular point. We need to do for each particular point, but while point, I mean, but if it not equals to point not equals to wow, okay, so this is quite nice actually. So while point, how do we end a point? For each point and points. Okay, I'll put the statement for the last one at the end. If point, actually, yeah, I don't think we can do that. So or I range len of points. If point of I of 1 bigger than point of I of 0. No, not I of 0. So point of I plus 1 of 1. No, so for the first time we will check first iteration. For point of I comma 0 bigger than point of I plus 1 comma 0. So that will be the last one. And I'll just do this and oh my god, I might need to do it for like a lot of if statements. Using a lot of ifs is using match introduced by it's generating better than using many if as efficiency reading around about the sequence in the case of match statements. We said that is easier to read and understand compared to long chain algorithms. Some languages marginal for small cases. Okay, I'll just just to learn about cases, I'll do this. What does match status code mean? No, I don't want that. I want case. Okay, so in here it's just for match for a particular thing. Okay, I don't think I can do cases in that, so I'll just use if else statements. If this is the case, then so if I comma 0 is bigger than I plus 1 comma 0 and I and the second number is also big. Okay, so for that point oh, this might be bad. We could make a cursor, right? So we can make a cursor here. Actually, yeah, we can make a cursor by like a 0, 0, right? Actually, we don't even need that. Let's make a cursor start at like not 0 at 0. We need our cursor to start at. Well, let's start at 0, 0, 0, and for each particular one, cursor would start at. Cursor would start at. Oh. Actually, yeah, we don't need to update it every single time. So the cursor here starts at 0, 0, right? So do we start it at like a particular point, whichever, like the first? Yeah, I think we need to start it at points 0. Right? We are started at point 0. Yep. If both are big, then cursor 0 should be plus equals to 1 and cursor 1 should be plus equals to 1 as well. If for like this statement where the first one is bigger, oh, there will be so many if statements here, it's gonna be cooked. And the second is actually equal, then we only update our cursor. Else another thing would be here if so in this one these two would be at equal. Wow, this is gonna be so cool. And no, if they're both are equal, then what? Then was brother. I don't think we need a for loop here. I think we need a while loop. An unending while loop. So everyone equals to 2. it. We're just gonna publish it up. Point of I, 0 equals to point. So that point is equal, but let's say the second point is still smaller. If both of the points equal, that would be our end, right? Actually, yeah, I think it would be better if I just do it for each particular place first. So here, if we just do like this and make this like a this, then both of these would be updated again. And how will they be updated is that like cursor this one way would be increased, but this one would be decreased. So minus equals to 1. In this particular case, when both are equal, no, wait, this is equal. There are going to be 2 cases in this too, which is code. There's going to be like 3 cases for each individual and 2 cases for this. For each individual those who, I mean, no, that would be covered in that. So but the first one is equal, but the second one is not. Second one is actually less. No man, I've done this wrong, bro. With this one, this would be that. Bro, I feel like it's just such a goofy thing. I could have just used like a loop, right? While like this is not true, we go through all of those. Because what am I going to be putting here? Yeah, I'm just going to return it when cursor is at the end point, right? So when cursor equals to points of len of points. So like let's say points of -1 even. But cursor not equals to that. Okay, yeah, that works. But I mean, like, yeah, we could have just had a loop where we like put a loop until we reach that particular point, right? Instead of all these if statements. Wow. So cursor of 1 would be increased. Cursor of 0 stays same. 1 would be increased because this 1 would be increased in this particular case. Here one would be decreased. Here one would be increased. Yep. Points are 0 equals to points of that. One would be decreased here. Now we need 3 more conditions, right? From what I understand. Oh, that does not seem right. So it will basically be that. Oh, this I feel like it's gonna be like so bad. Do I run this? Oh, it's not gonna run, I feel like. So how are we using I here though? Wow, this is so bad right now. And we need to do each equal point, which is the good part. Oh, I just did like a lot of things for nothing and relax. Fuck. Because this is only for the first point, right? Like, I mean, how much is going to like, switch points? How am I going to switch between points? Like, how am I going to increase the I? What if it crosses the points in the middle? And I can't even code up an easy question. This is good. Wow, this question is kind of cool, I have to say, for sure. Wow, I could have done this with that loop, I think so, somehow. Because why, like, why, for that particular loop? For each individual element, we would need to use 3 different loops. So it's gonna be O of n square. There's no better way to do this than like O of n square, I would say. Without like at least one nested loop, right? So for that, I mean, while particular condition is not true, we just have if and else for that particular condition for each individual target. Wow, man, like I feel like now I know the answer after doing all the bullshit. Wow, that's good. Okay, so then how am I going to define a point? So I needed to do this, and at this point I needed to do while. Okay, wait a minute. I could just do this, and I think this should also work for now. I think this should work now. No, yeah, just remember these. Also, we can only do it to 1 point, so we are still not even counting, so there is that still left, but I mean, I don't think this works actually. So for white culture is not equals to point. For point and points. So the first one is just going to go through anyways. Right, the first part is always going to just go through anyways, but for the second part, while if points of 0 bigger than cursor 0, if there would be this one statement, then there would be if points of 0 equals to cursor of 0. But like the thing is, I need to do both of the things at once. Right? We need to like check for both at once. So we need that, but we need that in a way that's kind of cooked. So I need to like kind of, okay, I'll just like try that. If that doesn't work in my head, then I'll change it. So instead of that, I'll just do that. Then point of 0. Cursor of 0 and point of 1. Then cursor of 1. Oh, it should be this for sure. It will be point of 0 bigger than cursor of 0 and point of 1 equals to cursor of 1. So we separate cursor of 0. If point of 0 is bigger than cursor of 0 and cursor of 1 is bigger than cursor of I, then we do cursor of I minus 1, yep. Point of 1 is smaller than cursor of I. Then yeah, we minus cursor of I here. Cursor of 1 element. This is for this condition here, all of these are in plus, right? And 1 is in plus if it needs to be, it stays whatever it needs to be. And then yeah, I would also need to create a count which I will create later. First I need to make sure this works. So here, wow, this is good kind of. Instead of 0, it would be point of 4. Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be like the same, right? This equals to cursor. No, if I just do this, then it's gonna be easy, right? Cursor of 1. We are only changing cursor of 1 in that position, which would be cursor of 1 minus equals to cursor of 1 and equals to 1, right? Oh, there's so many things there. Cursor will be minus. Why did I put it as plus? I should. The next one is point of 0 equals to cursor of 0 and cursor of 1 and point of 1 equals to cursor of bigger than cursor of 1. Yeah, that's correct. The next one, point of 0 is less than cursor of 0 and point of 1 is less than cursor of 1. Wouldn't both be minus 1 then? Yeah. It's point of 0 lesser than count of 0, cursor of 0, and point of 1 is equals to cursor of 1. So we will just change it in a way that it's cursor of 0 is decreasing. We have done it for cursor of 0 increasing. And if point of 1 or 0, point of 0 is less than cursor of 0, and point of 1 cursor of 1 would be plus equals to cursor of 0 would still be negating. So now I think I've done all of these equations there, and the next one is if point of 0 double equals to cursor of 0, return what? Yeah, at that point just break, right? Break this. Not continue, just break. No, point of 0 is equals to cursor of 0. What am I even doing here? Like, not point of 0 is equal to 0. Yeah, it would just not be doing that. That's it. Now we need to add a count in this. So time, there should be time equals to 0. For each registration, time plus equals to 1 in all of these basically. Right? But this is like such a code answer. I feel like this is not the correct answer at all. We are increasing time every single time while the cursor is not equals to point. And cursor is stayed at wherever it is at the last point, right? The cursor equals to point would be at on. And for the next for loop it starts again with the next point. So and then you just return time. Now if I run this shit, there's gotta be an error somewhere. Runtime error. Oh my god, I needed to equals bro, there's no way. Everything that equal is gonna be this now. Should this the wall like still be in cursor? Where did I write cursor? Bro, show me the 996. Man, I'm just dumbass shits, no. If I do this shit in an interview, like even this approach is just so bad. Okay, it works, but it only works because it's not gonna work for like all these million ass fucking things that they're gonna give me. The big ass brute force. It works. Beats 5%, beats 11%. Brute force. Basically all possible pressure by each. Holy fuck, that was a super hard brute force to calculate. Like I assume there's going to be like a loop as well. Like instead of like each individual position, there could be a loop. But I don't know how the loop would work because for a loop to work, wouldn't actually, yeah, we could like instead of like for this, so we could have like while point in points, like no, while points not equals to null, right? And when we reach a particular point, we just decrease that from the point list. So until all the points are popped, it will keep running. And to reach a particular point, for reach, okay man, I think I'll just look at the solution. But I feel like I'm pretty happy that this worked at least. Goofy solution, bro. Oh, this took us quite a bit of time, for sure. I need to see what it
this
is.
question because it's slightly different from your typical array type question, and solution is quite unique, and it taught me some key lessons. So if you want to give it a go, pause now. On a 2D plane, there are endpoints with integer coordinates, points I equal to x and y. Return the minimum time in seconds to visit all points in the order given by points. You can move according to these rules. In 1 second, you can either move vertically, horizontally, or diagonally by 1 or square 2 units. So we can either move diagonally in 1 move, or 1 second, or vertically, or horizontally. You have to visit the points in the same order as they appear in the array. You are allowed to pass through points that appear later in the order, but these do not count as visits. So if we were given these points, our result would be 7 seconds, which is the minimum time to visit these points. And one thing that I think the question misses is our starting point. And for example, if you're in an interview setting, this might be a good opportunity to ask a clarifying question. Do we have to start at 0, 0, or can we start at the first point in the array that we're given? In this question, we can start at the first point. So we start at 1, 1, and we move diagonally, going to 2, 2, 3, 3, and then up to 3, 4, which is the second point in our list of coordinates. And finally, we move diagonally all the way back down to -1, 0. And each point is 1 second in our traversal, and so we have 7 seconds. If we first take a look at my notes, this was a key point in my practice or learning because I realized that coding should not be the difficult part. In this question, I spent a lot of time trying to code up the solution and working on the wrong things. And I realized that if you understand 1 or 2 things, the rest of the problem should be easy. And this is where I set the hard limit for myself on 15 to 20 minutes to come up with a working solution. And the key idea in this question
There's no way this works. Result equals to 0, so result is basically the time. x1, y1 equals to points dot pop. We are getting the how does the pop function work? Does it pops out the latest one or the last one? I'm not sure. I mean, yeah, we could go like through it like entirely from like the end too, but how does pop work? I need to see that. Remove and reduce the element. Okay, we're not giving it an element here though. Why we're just doing the pop function? Okay, so if there is no function in pop, then what?
question was that the distance between 2 points is the maximum.
For a particular point, x1, x2, y2 equals to points dot pop. Bro, there's no way. Bro, there's no way, bro. I just am so sad, man. This could be the answer, bro. Shit. No, I cannot believe this could be the answer, dude. I needed to think about this question for so long for that to be answered. Like I would have gone there and all. But there's my phone, man. It's not. Oh man, this is sad. We could have just done this. So what they're basically doing is for each particular, they're basically like storing the x1, y1 equals to points dot pop for the first points. So we started that, right? Then x2, y2 is like the points that are then going to be next. So while the points exist, so they're going to start from the first one, and they add like the maximum time that it would take. Wow, this is like a nice answer, bro. This is such a nice answer. Not the most beautiful answer I've ever seen, but it's quite nice, I would say. Wow, I can't believe, bro. Like I was trying to code this up entirely. Wow, man. I wanna like save this though. Like this took like a lot of fucking work. I mean, it's gonna be saved in my fucking submissions, but I feel so dumb that like, holy fuck, that happened there. So, wow, that's just sad. I'll make time starts at 0 and x1, y1 what equals to like points dot pop. So basically what they are doing is like the pop function in Python without an input. What does return last element, right? It basically makes it a queue. Remove the element of no initial, right? That's worked. We start from the last element because it's the same thing both ways, right? So there's that. Oh, I need to also look at like math function because I forgot about that abstract and the math, but I'll do that later. I'll just look at the solution for that part. So while points, so while something exists in points, I'll type it out in a way that like not equals to none. x2 comma y2 equals to points dot pop, the next element, right? So time plus equals to max of abstract of x1 minus x2, not abstract, it's like the absolute value, right? Comma abstract of x, not x1 minus x2, yeah, it should be that, y1 minus y2. So time would be that. And how do we update our x1 and y1? How do we update x1 and y1 here? x1 and y1 equals to x2 comma y2, I guess, right? Because yeah, whatever it is, like we have told you on that, so that works there. So, and then we just return time at the end. What else? Do I need to do anything else in this code run? No, right? x1 comma y1 equals to x2 comma y2. Yeah, I think this works. Run this should. The abstract function, I did not check that. Point set pop. Pop from empty list. Oh, we are like looking at while points not equals to none, right? Oh, you are cooked, bro. Like, we are looking for points from pop. We are already points popped once, and we are looking for while points not equals to none. So while points works, but because it's not a none, it's an empty list, right? So let's say while points not equals to an empty list. I think this should also work because it's not none. It's still a list. It's still a list. So the schema is there, but it's not there. Could have done while points. Oh, it's just sad that like I can do this though. Wait a minute. I'm not submitted yet. Yeah, I need to look up all these math functions. I've not made notes on these, so I need to do that. But it's so good now. Wow.
Difference between one of the coordinates x or y. So what this means is that if the next node or coordinate is 10,
Yeah, I need to make notes on this one actually because for each point to be reached the maximum, the time is going to be the maximum difference between each coordinate points. Yeah, because we can like, yeah, because it's in O1. Man, that's such an easy answer, bro. Like, it's kind of sad that I could not do that, but shit. Wow, I need to like submit it again. It will just suddenly be 100, right? But I wanted to look 100 here. Yeah, type share. Okay.
units away on the x-axis but 5 away on the y-axis, it's going to take exactly 10 steps to reach that point. The reason being is that you can only move one x or y at a time, or you can move diagonally. So if you move diagonally, the difference in the y, which is the smaller of the two differences between the current coordinate and the next coordinate, this 5 units difference is made up by moving diagonally. So you move diagonally as much as you can, and during the process, the difference in the y will be covered. After that, you reach a point like this at 3, 3, where all that's left to do is move in one direction, either vertically or horizontally, to make up the remaining difference in the x or the y-axis. So if we head over to the whiteboard, this should make more sense. We start off by creating a result variable which will keep track of the length of time our solution will take. Given the points that we have to hit, we pop off the first 2 units. We pop off the thing earlier, absolute difference of the x values, value 3 horizontally, to make up the points in the list to view, because it will be quite difficult to convey a graph type setting. But I added this in here because it's a key learning point that once you understand 1 or 2 key concepts in most questions, coding it up then becomes super easy. And as you can see, we only have one while loop with a bunch of constant operations as much as possible, and it takes us 2 seconds. So we add the value 3 to our result. And we can see this is true by looking at how we move from 1, 1 to 3, 4. We move across diagonally as much as possible, and it takes us 2 seconds, and then we can only move horizontally to make up the final difference in the y units, which gives us 3 seconds. Then we update our coordinates, so 3, 4 is now our x1 and y1, and we repeat the same process with all the points in the list. At the end, we'll have our result, which is the total seconds it takes to hit all the points in optimal speed, and this is our solution. Now, a question like this might not be asked in the interview because it will be quite difficult to convey a graph type setting, but I added this in here because it's a key learning point that once you understand 1 or 2 key concepts in most questions, coding it up then becomes super easy. And as you can see, we only have one while loop with a bunch of constant operations inside, so this gives us a time complexity of O of n. We're also only storing a set number of variables, the result, x1, y1, and x2 and y2, and regardless of the growing input size, we're only storing these set variables, so that gives us a constant space complexity, and that is our solution for the minimum time to visit all points in a graph. Next up, we have our first medium question, and this is one of my
Wait, I just solved this question like 2 or 3 days ago.
favorite questions. Given
One of his favorite questions? Okay, I'll start with this tomorrow actually. Yeah, I mean, let me check, bro. I just said that like I'll be coming in an hour. What's the time now? Wait, it's been more than an hour, bro. I need to go. So how long have I been streaming again? So YouTube. Man, that's crazy. Wait, it's been more than an hour, bro. I need to go. It's been how much? Where does it show the fucking time, bro? 100 minutes ago? Yeah, that's good enough. 1 hour, 5 minutes. That's a good session, I would say. I was stuck on this question for like a long time, though, for sure. Like the first answer was like pretty funny to read it. Whatever. On this answer, I need to look into this as well, right? So I need to put that here. Yep, that's about it.